Our next guest is a very funny lady who starts the new year with two big projects, her stand-up special on Netflix, Fortune Feimster Crushing It, and the movie You're Cordially Invited with Will Ferrell and Reese Witherspoon premieres on Prime Video Thursday. Please welcome Fortune Feimster.
I'm great.
It's good to have. How's your mom doing?
My mom is keeping very busy, Jimmy.
Is she? Yeah.
Yeah, she called me up and she goes, I might have a new job opportunity for you. She goes, I have a job opportunity for you at Jersey Mike's. And I was like, I'm doing okay. And she said, I have an in with Mike, not the Mike. I met the regional director of the Belmont, North Carolina, Jersey Mike's, and I told him that you are a comedian and that they should hire you to be their spokesperson. So you might get a call because he is going to run it up the flagpole. And if you get that job, I'm going to need compensation. So, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm like, they'll pay in subs.
What kind of cut does mom want from me, you think?
I think she just wants a new car. But she might have to just take a sub. That's going to be what she gets.
In your special, which is very funny, by the way.
Thank
You told a very funny story about an accident your mom had at the cemetery.
Yeah.
Had she recovered from that? Horrible?
Yeah, my mom loves to go visit the cemetery, and she realized that a stranger had been buried in our family plot. And she accidentally fell in this fresh grave and crawled out and couldn't get up. She's like, I've fallen and I can't get up. And like army crawled across the cemetery to sit on the curb to hoist herself up. And she couldn't get up, so she ended up calling the fire department. I know. She goes, this is Ginger Feimster, Fortune Feimster's mother. No. I'm like, don't bring me into this. And they came and rescued. All they did was like lift her up. That's
you said she just basically like reached out for.
They lifted her up, but I didn't realize when I told that story how many people wanted to know who was buried in the family plot.
Yeah, I would love to know that.
It really was just a double booking. Yeah. My family bought it like 70 years ago when it was pen and paper. At some point, it moved to computers, and they sold the lot to another family, and nobody knew until someone died. But like 20 years had passed, so for a long time it just sat there, and then all of a sudden, this guy just pops up.
Wow.
Yeah.
And has this been sorted now?
No. So our families might just spend eternity together. I don't know how I don't know.
Can I tell you what needs to happen?
What's that?
Someone in your family needs to marry someone from their family.
Oh.
So that it is indeed the family plot.
That isn't
because that's very weird. So everybody's like, and how far do they go? Like, as far as who's got a plot there? Like, your mom has her plot planned out, plotted?
My mom's family has their plot, and I guess this was our family's plot. But I'm like, I'm good. I don't need to be there.
Yeah. So there's enough room for everybody in this plot?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
I think we're going to have to share a casket at some point. and I just am excited for the sit down with the other family.
You should meet them.
Like, okay, guys, we got to work this out.
Yeah.
You know, you can have two over here, we'll have two over here, and call it a day.
Wow, that is weird. That is
weird.
Really, really strange.
Yeah, but she, that's my mom. She gives me a lot of content.
Yeah.
And she's going to need compensation.
When did you move away from home? When did you move to L.A.?
I moved to L.A. I know I look really young. I wear a lot of creams. 21 years ago, I moved to L.A., yeah.
And you came out here to get an acting job, I assume, or to start doing stand-up?
Kind of a life experience, and I found out it was hard to make friends here, so I ended up taking improv classes at the Groundlings. A lot of SNL people have been there.
Yeah.
And my teachers just kept encouraging me, and it quickly grew into a passion.
How long were you there?
6 years. I was there and did a year and a half in their Sunday company. Put on a show every Sunday
night. That's for the best, the cream of the crop,
cream
right?
of the crop, and then there's the main company.
Yeah, and then all the talent agents and the people will come and they'll see that Sunday show.
Yeah, because there's so many talented people there. We would get a lot of that. We would also get some cool famous people every now and then. Lawrence Fishburne came to a show.
Nice.
The one that always stood out to me was James Gandolfini. Came to one of these.
Wow.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Wow.
And he was such an amazing guy. And we went out to eat afterwards, and he came because he knew one of the guys in the company. And we were broke. We all had like no money, and we ordered food. And the waitress comes after our meal and brings us all another drink. And she said, "Your meal's on James Gandolfini, and also here's the second round." And we're like, "Oh my God, that's so cool," because none of us could, barely afford our meal. And so I went up to him to just say, like, "James, that was so cool. Thank you so much." And he gave me this big, like, bear hug, and he was like, "You're welcome. You're so funny." And I turned into like a dainty, delicate flower. I was like, "Oh my God." I turned straight like this. He was so charismatic. I will never forget that.
That's a great story. You've got, and now this movie is like, it's an all-star, really a very funny cast.
Really funny cast. Will Ferrell, Reese Witherspoon, so many funny people. I got to pop in like I do in a lot of movies and be insane.
Right, yeah.
Which is fun for me.
Yeah.
And I've worked with Reese before. This was my first time working with Will, and he's a Groundlings guy.
Yes.
Always looked up to him.
Always funny.
Really
and
funny.
One of the kindest guys you'll ever meet.
So amazing. And I was so happy to just get to be around him. They had dinner one night in the hotel because we filmed in this little town outside of Atlanta at the lake, and we went to this sports bar in the hotel, and it was like Will Ferrell, Nick Jonas, our director, a bunch of the actors, and no one was in the sports bar. And so we were having dinner, and like halfway through the dinner, it got really loud. And I turn around, and half the town is staring at Will Ferrell and Nick Jonas just having a beer, looking at him like, "What's up? What's up?" And I'm like, "Oh my God, Will, how are you gonna get out of here? Like, you're gonna get mobbed." And he's like, "I got this." And he gets out his cell phone and he goes, "What's that? What happened to your cat?" "No, you guys, I gotta go. There's something happening with the cat." And we're like, "Oh no." And then he walks past like 100 people and he's like, "What's happening with the cat?" And they're like, "What's happening with the cat?" And no one bothers him. He just leaves and no one's offended. They're just like, "We hope the cat's okay."
Is the cat okay?
Well, so the next day I'm filming with him. I'm like, "This is it. He and I are gonna become best friends."
Mm-hmm.
We were talking for a while, and I'm like, we've gotten to the point in our friendship where I can ask for his phone number. And I was like, "So is it time? Should we exchange digits?" And he gets his cell phone out, and he's like, "What happened to the cat?"
Fortune Feimster, everybody, crushing it. Is on Netflix, and the movie You're Cordially Invited premieres on Prime Video a week from today. Thank you, Fortune. We'll be back with Hooray for the Riff Raff